left it in the fish tank for quite a while. This time, we kept the Honor Magic V6 completely underwater for a full 24 hours, and honestly, we forgot about it after it went in. Now, the Honor Magic V6 is shaping up as a serious Apple competitor, but has the foldable phone finally matured? Can you still see the crease? Is it too thick or heavy? Can the battery really last? How durable is the folding display? And does going foldable mean sacrificing performance? Today, we're putting the upcoming Honor Magic V6 through its paces. Big thanks to my tech partner over in China for providing this footage. I really appreciate the support in making this video happen. Hey everyone, Stella here from techiestreet. If you're into staying updated with the newest gadgets, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our latest tech content. Compared with the previous generation, the Magic V6 is slimmer and more rounded. With the screen protector, my white version weighs just 223 grams, around 10 grams lighter than the flat-screen iPhone 17 Pro Max. And that's impressive considering it packs a huge 6,850 mAh plus battery, plus both inner and outer displays. Thickness is another big win. Unfolded, the Magic V6 is just 4 millimeters at its thinnest point. Folded, it's 8.75 millimeters. My unit measured 8.76 millimeters, comfortably within manufacturing tolerance. Compared with the latest Samsung and Apple flagships, the thickness gap between foldables and regular phones is getting surprisingly small. Now, let's talk displays. Both screens feature frame sensors and Honor's diamond-shaped design, delivering a bright, sharp image. Display quality is clearly one of Honor's strengths. The 6.52-inch outer display now has larger, more symmetrical rounded corners. Its incredibly slim 1.18mm four-sided bezels push the screen-to-body ratio higher and make the display feel much more immersive. There's also an anti-reflective coating. It keeps blacks deeper and avoids that annoying gray look, giving the screen a more premium finish. We tested it under strong lighting, and the results were impressive. Reflections stayed under control, while outdoor visibility was noticeably better. In testing, the outer screen reached 885 with manual brightness on a full white screen. Under strong lighting, peak brightness climbed to 2120. Another nice change, the outer display is completely flat. Unlike the slightly curved V5, applying a screen protector should now be much easier. For materials, Honor uses a 5600-layer silicon nitride high-precision film process designed for scratch resistance, durability, and anti-reflective performance. Our test units did not include a pre-installed screen protector. But here's the real test for any foldable, the inner display. That crease has always been one of the biggest reasons people hesitate to buy foldables. The Magic V6 introduces ultra-tough UTG glass for the first time, along with improved internal layer structure. In everyday use, the crease is noticeably less visible. And honestly, Honor's crease control is impressive. A big reason is the new Luban adhesive chain, combining aerospace-grade blunt steel with a bridge-style hinge. It helps reduce the crease while also improving impact resistance. But there's an important catch. We've only used the new phones for a few days, while the Magic V5 has been in use for over 6 months, so consider this an early comparison. Once we've used the Magic V6 for much longer, we'll return with a proper update on how the crease holds up over time. Now, let's move inside. The 7.95-inch inner display has a 2352 by 2172 resolution and a 120 Hz refresh rate. You also get standard, vivid, and professional color modes. During testing, manual brightness reached 677 on a full white screen, while strong front lighting pushed peak brightness to 1350. Eye protection is another major focus. Both screens support 4,320 Hz high-frequency PWM dimming designed to make viewing more comfortable. But Honor has another trick. The Magic V6 is the first device with ADR display technology. It adaptively expands dynamic range, making regular HD videos look closer to HDR. We tested it against several competing phones using online videos and identical clips. So which phone actually looks better? And finally, we reach one of the biggest foldable challenges: dust and water resistance. This year, Honor has made a serious effort to improve the Magic V6's protection against both. Honor has achieved both IP68 and IP69 certification, bringing foldable protection closer to flagship standards. Even more impressive, Honor claims the Magic V6 can survive water depths of up to 4 meters. So, of course, we had to test it. We placed the phone in a fish tank and left it underwater for a full 24 hours. And honestly, we almost forgot it was down there. Even underwater, the phone could still fold normally. After taking it out, everything continued working without obvious problems. With such limited testing, are you impressed by this waterproof protection? Overall, Honor seems to be slowly removing the doubts people have about foldable phones. Now, let's talk about MagicOS 10. The Magic V6 brings new AI-powered productivity features, and the biggest advantage of its large display is simple: you can see and do more at once. Honor's ultra-wide layout supports 3 windows side by side. Combined with the Vulkan graphics engine and unified rendering technology, the goal is smoother multitasking with less performance overhead. Imagine planning a trip. Xiaohongshu, Qunar, and Ctrip can all run together. You can research destinations, compare hotels, and check flights without constantly switching apps. That's where the big foldable screen really makes sense. For business users, Honor's Bongi platform can stay open throughout a meeting. You can record key points before or during the meeting, then generate a summary afterward. Honor also thought about stock traders. Its dual stock feature lets you monitor 2 stocks on one screen. No more switching back and forth. You can see the important market information together. But Honor isn't stopping with Android. The company is also breaking down the wall between Android and Apple devices. It can connect with Android and Apple products, and Honor says it's currently the only manufacturer able to transfer files with Harmony OS phones. It can also transfer documents with Mac and Windows PCs. That makes the Magic V6 especially interesting for people who use multiple ecosystems. For users carrying both an iPhone and an Honor phone, dual-device notification sharing lets you view iPhone notifications directly on the Honor device. There's also iCloud connectivity, making it easier to download photos stored on your iPhone. And if you use a Mac, the Magic V6 can connect with it too, bringing more Apple-like cross-device convenience to Honor's ecosystem. In other words, Honor is making cross-platform features possible that traditionally weren't this easy. And there's more. You can even project your Honor phone directly onto a Mac. It's convenient and maybe a dangerous excuse to sneak in some phone time while you're working. Now let's move to performance. The Magic V6 uses the full-performance 5th generation Snapdragon 8 Elite. So how does it handle serious gaming inside a foldable? We started with Honor of Kings. After 30 minutes at room temperature, performance stayed relatively stable. The front reached 43.2 degrees Celsius, while the rear hit 42.6 degrees Celsius. Then came Genshin Impact for another 30 minutes. Frame rate reached 58.6%, while temperatures climbed to 46.2 degrees Celsius on the front and 45.2 on the back. Finally, we tested Iron Man. Average frame rate was 52.9%, with temperatures reaching 45.7 degrees Celsius on the front and 44.3 degrees Celsius on the rear. Remember, all of this was tested on the fully unfolded display, almost tablet-sized. That means more screen and naturally more thermal pressure. For casual gaming and entertainment, performance is definitely sufficient. There's also a clever detail. In landscape gaming, most of the heat stays around the camera side, so when you're holding the phone with both hands, your hands can generally stay away from the hottest area. Now let's talk about cameras. We'll show you some samples and you can judge the results yourself. The Magic V6 keeps a triple camera setup on the rear. The detailed specifications are shown on screen. Let's get straight into the comparisons. We tested the Magic V6 against the previous generation Magic V5 and the main camera of Apple's iPhone 17 Pro Max. Honor seems to prioritize color reproduction, especially noticeable in the red paint. In terms of overall resolution, all three phones are fairly close. Compared with the V5, the V6 preserves more detail in the base cover. In lower light, the V6 also handles shadow detail impressively. Even against competitors, it performs with confidence. And look closely at the lantern on top. Fine textures and small details remain surprisingly clear. Before we test the telephoto, there's one important detail. Apple's native 100mm focal length has an advantage over Honor's 70mm when shooting at high magnification, but the Magic V6 fights back with SEPA 6.5 level stabilization, helping keep zoomed shots sharp and steady. Honor also uses its own color processing, giving photos a distinctive look. Now let's check some ultra-wide samples. Honor changed the ultra-wide focal length from 13mm to 15mm. This improves edge quality and reduces chromatic aberration, but the field of view becomes narrower. So which would you choose? The widest possible view with weaker edges, or slightly less coverage with better overall image quality? Tell us in the comments. Now let's compare it with Apple. The Magic V6 captures excellent flower textures, while edge details remain clear. Next up, portraits. The Magic V6 offers inspiration-assisted shooting and lets you preview shots on the external display. It can even recommend poses based on the scene, helping you get a better shot more easily. Honor has also improved its portrait algorithms, and the results look impressive. So if your girlfriend keeps saying you can't take good photos, maybe this feature can save you. Now let's test video. We're putting the Magic V6 against the benchmark, Apple. But before revealing the results, take a guess. Who wins? Let's find out. We recorded handheld video while walking. Whether using the main or telephoto camera, the V6 produced remarkably stable footage. Its video stabilization is seriously impressive. It also introduces AI cinematic color tracking. AI adjusts color and lighting to give footage a more cinematic look. And it's easy to use. Just open the AI editing section in your album. Under AI Color, you'll find multiple templates. It's basically like having a colorist inside your phone. Now, battery life. Honor has always focused heavily on endurance, and its Qinghai Lake battery technology has already impressed us. Our 1TB model packs a massive 7,150 mAh Qinghai Lake Blade battery with 32% carbon dioxide content and 985 energy density. More importantly, it's the first foldable to break the 7,000 mAh battery barrier. That's a major step forward in foldable battery technology. So we pushed it hard. At 400 nits, we continuously played 4K video on the large inner display from 100% until shutdown. The result was 13 hours and 40 minutes. And remember, this was done entirely on the nearly 8-inch inner screen. For such a huge display, that's genuinely impressive and comparable to many traditional large-screen devices. Then we ran our standard 5-part battery test. The inner screen finished with 63%, while the outer display had 67%. So that's only a 4% difference under identical conditions, so you don't need to worry that using the large inner screen will dramatically destroy battery life. For charging, the Magic V6 supports 80-watt wired and 66-watt wireless. Here's the interesting part. The box includes a 120-watt charger and supports charging protocols from other brands. In our test, 0% to 100% took just 51 minutes. We also tested the 256GB and 512GB versions. Both pack 6,850 mAh batteries. And remember, these are foldables. In the same 5-part test, the inner screen finished with 60%, while the outer display had 67%. So whichever version you choose, battery life shouldn't be a major concern. Overall, Honor's foldable strategy is arguably one of the most aggressive among domestic Android brands. There's the flagship Magic V series, the more affordable Magic VS series, and the more advanced V Plus series, which has also reached the market. That experience clearly shows in the latest Magic V6. Compared with the Magic V5, this is a comprehensive upgrade. Honor is tackling the traditional weaknesses of foldables one by one, gradually removing the doubts people have about them. At its core, the Magic V6 has one simple goal: deliver a traditional flagship experience in a phone that's still thin and lightweight when folded. The idea is a complete foldable experience without making the phone feel heavy or inconvenient, and that's how Honor is pushing foldables into their next stage. Alright, that's everything for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!